Good morning. Happy Monday. How are you today? I am coming at you live from the shed here. Hope things have been going well for you. Hope you had a great weekend. And thanks for watching this whenever you get the chance. So, today's topic is radical responsibility, how to change your life forever. So, I had an interesting weekend. Yesterday morning, I had the pleasure of going to the Temple of the Universe in Alachua, Florida, to see Mickey Singer. That's his place. He speaks there every week, and I had the chance to go see him and hear him speak, and it was powerful to be in a room that has had that kind of dedicated energy for so long, for really the things that he teaches, the stuff I've learned from him over the years, reading his books and listening to him. And then listening to a book also that was referred to me by someone I met on Friday called Zero Limits. And that book, I listened to it on the way there, listened to Mickey teach, and then spent the rest of the day finishing that book, almost in a meditation state. Really, I found myself extremely calm while I listened to it, super engaged, really in depth on it. And what it talks about is called Ho'oponopono, if I said that right, which is really it is a technique and a way of living that is profound, that allows you to heal yourself and heal the world around you all the time. And one thing I found very interesting between what I've learned in life, what Mickey was talking about, and then what that book Zero Limits discusses is what I'm calling radical responsibility. You, how do I say this? Everything that's happened in your life, not all of it may be your fault. However, after it's happened, you are then responsible for it. You are responsible for how you carry it in your body forever, as long as you're alive. That part is up to you. Again, it may not have been your fault that it happened to you. After it happened, it is now your responsibility to deal with it and what that means and what that looks like. Now, the beauty of that is in that place, the first thing you show yourself in radical responsibility is love. Radical responsibility is not about owning yourself or destroying yourself with truth or beating yourself up about anything. That is not the point. Radical responsibility is a state, it's a place you come from where life is not happening to you. Everything you experience is happening for you. Whatever filters you're using to decide if you think it feels good or feels bad or whatever it makes you think, that is besides the point. Radical responsibility is about understanding what the heck is actually happening. It's a goal every day. You wake up and want to know what's actually happening today. What is reality? Reveal to me reality. Now, what's interesting that is talked about in the book Zero Limits is that we, out of all the bits of information that are going on every second, there are billions of bits, our brains are only processing, it's like 15 to 25 bits at most. So how do we even understand reality when we are only catching a little glimpse of what's going on? Now, I find the same kind of correlation in what Mickey Singer talks about in the fact that everything's 13.8 billion years old. It took 13.8 billion years for it to get to this point. The fact that you're even awake is amazing. when you understand about yourself that you're not your body, you're not your feelings, you're not your thoughts, you are the one that's experiencing them, you're the one hearing them, you're the one feeling it, you are the consciousness that is behind it all. That is where you start to get into radical responsibility, where you're the one driving this body around. You're the one experiencing all this junk you've crammed inside, that the moment your food comes out and it's too cold, I don't like that. I don't like that. We have a visceral response instead of, oh, we can simply get this heated back up. No, we have a whole thing. One of the easiest examples is one Mickey Singer uses constantly, and it has to do with driving. Driving sets us all off. It's the ultimate place to go practice. I drove back to Connecticut for Christmas. So from Florida to Connecticut for Christmas, there and back this past year with my fiance, our 2 kids, our dog. And I viewed it going in as practice. I struggle with driving. With ADHD, I look all over the place. I can easily get frustrated when feel like I take it personal. And people cut me off, and I'm trying to keep space and all this stuff. And it's this experience that honestly I looked at it, you know what, man? I am so bothered. I gotta let it go. All this stuff is sick. It's just ridiculous. There's no reason to hold on to it. Who cares if you get cut off? Who cares? Let it go. Forgive yourself, forgive them. It doesn't matter. Let it go. So driving is the ultimate practice, because in the end, the whole point is to get where you're going safe. As long as you get there where you're going safe, mission 1. Right? Whether you caught no red lights or 10 red lights, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Point is, live at peace along the way. And it's us that's disturbing our peace. It feels like life's doing it, but we're the ones that have held on to it all. You're the one that decided you didn't like it when you catch a red light. You're the one that decided that I'm just going to pitch a hissy fit if my food I order comes out cold. You're the one that decided all that. You're the one that decides that if anything violates this really small view and filter I have of life, I'm not okay. Life's not okay. Everything's not okay. Again, that's what Mickey Singer digs in on deep. My favorite question is, what's going on in there? And can you handle it? And we either can handle it or we can't handle it. If we can't handle it, we store it down. When we can handle it, we don't block. We allow it to flow through us. We stay there in it. We don't let ourselves just become blown away by the whole thing. Right? We tell ourselves in the moment, I can handle this. Radical responsibility, it involves you to deal with some hard stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't. You have to dig through your life and find the areas as life brings it to you. Life will expose all the areas you need to let go constantly. It gives you the areas to be radically responsible. And the good news is, I said let go a second ago, it's not like you have to go do all this hard stuff. You just need to let go of the filter that you decided this is going to bother you. What if you just didn't hold on to that anymore? Right? Oftentimes, whatever it was that bothered us, it's touching something that actually bothered us. This little thing over here reminds us of it. So now we got all these little places that it bumps and reminds us of this one thing. But what if you just let that one thing go? What if you decided that I'm not going to hold on to it? Actually, I don't need to identify with this feeling. I don't need to hold on to it and internalize it and then remind myself of it all the time. I don't need to do that. Life is brand new every moment. There was a song we used to sing growing up in the church systems I was raised in, which says, new every morning. Your mercies are new every morning. The reality of what that statement really means is every day is this brand new opportunity when you wake up, whenever you wake up, right? In reality, we all live different hours of the day, but whenever you wake up and go through it, that's it. That was your chance that day. What'd you do with it? Did you experience it fully knowing, as long as I wake up tomorrow, another one's coming? I don't really need to hold on to anything. magical experience that we keep having every time we wake up, I'm fully convinced. I'd call it the daily rebirth. Each day is its own lifetime. And handy enough, each time we get to wake up, we get to use what we learned in that previous lifetime. And that could be to our detriment, or that could be really helpful to us, right? All depends. What'd you store in there? When you learn, the goal is don't store anything. Don't hold on to super good. Don't hold on to good. Don't hold on to bad. Let it all flow through, because it all will never stop flowing through until it's not flowing. And the only reason it would not be flowing is because you're just not around here to experience it, because it's going to keep doing it. Remember, we're all 13.8 billion years old. The atoms that make you up are just 13.8 billion years old in their current form of existence. Quantum physics takes it deeper than that. If you want to really dig in on what's underneath and behind atoms, of what's just really going on, and the fact that it's going to happen each day and that you get to participate in it, that is your radical responsibility. To live today fully, participate in it fully. It's what the Lord's Prayer, it's what Jesus was teaching people to say when he said that. It's for that day. What's it say? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Gives us day our daily bread, what we need just for the day. Forgive us as we forgive. Hold on to nothing. Everything will be provided, so there's no reason to hold on to the good too. Let everything flow, participating in the fact that every day, everything you need will show up right on time. So that's the reality. It will. When you are living in a way with life where you're not holding on to it and staying bitter and creating cycles in your life where just these negative things happen, you allow yourself to participate with life in a way where it's constantly flowing to you. Everything you need will always be delivered right on time. It's just reality. Whether we choose to believe in it or not doesn't matter. Look through your own life. Did freaking out and all the stress that you had between the last time you felt like everything was going to end and then it didn't because you're still here thinking about it? What if you didn't get stressed out? It's a choice. What if you decided I don't have to participate in this stress? It doesn't mean that the situation isn't stressful. That's not what we're saying. What I'm saying is, even though it's stressful, you can realize, this situation kind of makes my body feel this way. Interesting. Okay, I will participate like this, knowing the reality of the facts. That this has been going on a long time, but since before you got here, it'll keep going on a long time after you leave, and you are a human being experiencing it, and there are some benefits to that. Our humanity allows us to participate in ways that we are really diving into deep. We've done it for thousands of years, and then we called it something different. And the reality is, one thing Mickey Singer was teaching about yesterday is daily living is one of the most spiritual practices you can do, because it's in the moment where you're doing that personal development. Personal development work is very spiritual in nature, because it's that internal you, that thing that's going about life every day, that place where deep down, all we really want is unending love, joy, and peace. And it's possible because we felt it before, but then stuff interrupts it. That's us putting stuff in the way. It's always flowing, and it is happening apart from what the scenario is. Doesn't matter the scenario, that's always there. You're just awake and seeing that part of the scenario. Be very careful what you call it, what you decide about it, At the same time, right now, the storm is raging on Jupiter. There's Voyager, was it one or two? I don't remember which one, has left the solar system, is just flying through space. Like all that stuff is still happening right now, even though the one local moment in front of you has this certain view. Don't get sucked in. Don't just buy into the one thing. The skill of being human is to understand who you are, which is that consciousness behind it all, and what's actually happening, which really puts in perspective what you're going through today on this tiny little planet that has the only signs of life, and we have looked for billions of miles away and haven't found anything like what is here. There's life everywhere. We can't find the tiniest microbes of life in other places. I mean, the tiniest versions of it, then go walk outside. It's everywhere here. The fact that you're here and awake on this planet, it should make you feel like it's the most magical experience every time you get to wake up and have it. Whether it's a hard thing that day, your favorite thing that day, doesn't matter. Each day is just as magical. That's why I'm very careful with just falling into calling it Monday and Tuesday and what August and 2024. Like that's how we measure it right now. And that's fine. I get that. However, it's not really that day. If you take 13.8, and this ain't even getting you fully there either, by the way we measure time, but take 13.8 billion years and multiply it by 365 days a year. You're going to end up in day 5 trillion and something. That's what today is. It is the raw edge of time. 5 trillion something days took place before right now for today to get here. You've been alive for how many of them? Basically none. So it ain't about you. It's about this chance to experience it all. What are you going to do while you're awake? Are you going to go around life calling it all these things that just make you miserable the whole time? Or are you going to get square with it? Are you going to be radically responsible with the fact that you get to wake up each day with this chance? Gratefulness. And then you get to be mindful about it, where, even if it's something that I don't particularly want to do, when I look back to my life and all the jobs I've had, some of them I did not want to do. However, being all butthurt about not wanting to do it did not keep me from doing it. And the more I understood that, the more I realized, if I'll just participate today in what's in front of me, with all my heart from my heart, that's mindfulness, doing something with all your heart from your heart, and gratefulness, which is this is happening for me. So this thing happening for me, I'm going to do it with all my heart from my heart. Now you're onto something. Now you're really getting somewhere because of that. Whew. Whew. When you operate from mindfulness and gratefulness, you're unstoppable. You're an unstoppable force that just allows. You live in a perpetual state of allowance, which is the skill at living well. The fact that it exists means it exists. Us resisting it, not helpful. It's not helpful. It's not doing anything for you. I would venture to say one of the number one things you feel inside is resistance. A tension of doing or not doing, and it's just constantly there. The reason I can say it is because I lived with it too. I feel it and felt it too. There's actually never a day you'll be alive where personal development isn't still in play. Every single day is practice for the next day. And on the day you don't wake up, you're all done, at least for that time. What can you get radically responsible about today? What can you release yourself from today? What mindset or thought that you have just beat yourself up with for years. What if you just let that go? Didn't do that. What if you chose to believe a different story? Because again, you only see a tiny amount of reality that's happening. So what if you finally believe that if I looked at that from a different angle? It's not what I thought what I saw. Okay. Here's what I thought what I saw from here. What if I switched it up, looked at it from a different spot? That's the skill of being human. If you look on my Facebook at the banner, it says perspective is greater than. Because I firmly believe that. Perspective is greater than. When you have perspective, you get good at living life. You understand things for what they are. You allow them to exist and you flow with them in a way that isn't destructive to yourself or other people or the world around you. It is a helpful way of living to yourself and others. And living that way will actually, without trying to, help others live that way. It's what it does. And it's not about you convincing anybody to. It's just about you living in a way where you free yourself constantly. You don't have to hold on to that anger and resentment and all that stuff inside. You don't have to. You don't have to cling to that happiness worried about you might never feel that way again because all of it's coming. Just wait long enough. Just wait long enough. And if you wait long enough, something you called bad will be good. Something you called good will be bad. And then it'll switch back and it'll switch back and it'll switch back because as long as you get older, you're always changing the position that you're looking at the situation. So just let it be. You don't have to feel everything about everything. Use your humanity on purpose. Get radical responsibility for you first. This is what Jesus meant when he said, remove the plank from your own eye before messing with the speck in your brother's. The plank, you have radical responsibility for you. And when you take it for you, you empower others to take it for themselves. And you truly see how little power you have over anyone and how much you have over you and your experience. And everything gets better. Your whole life gets better. Pretty radical, drastic transformation, how fast it can happen up front. It's a lifetime of work once you start. But you see, it's like switching the light on. You couldn't see, now you can see. That's the difference. And it's pretty fantastic. And it's available to all of us. So what can you get radically responsible about today? Take advantage of it. Be that. Thank y'all so much. You ever need anything, as always, please ask questions, follow along. I do have a workshop, how to using your humanity on purpose, coming up. Check the posts on my page about it. Please fill out the form. There's a Google form in one of the comments for the latest post. If you need it, reach out. I'll send it to you. Again, thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.